Tarek El Guindy says Chris Bumstead's retirement temporary, expects him to come back in 1 to 2 years to win Open. Mr. Olympia IFBB judge Tarek El Guindy reflected on the 2024 Prague Pro and explained why he doesn't think Chris Bumstead's retirement will be permanent. Chris Bumstead's runner-up showing at the 2024 Prague Pro has the bodybuilding community talking. In a recent YouTube video shared on November 21, 2024, Judge Tarek El Guindy explained why he believes Chris Bumstead will exit retirement in 1 or 2 years to win the Open. Mr. Olympia. Chris Bumstead shocked the bodybuilding community after laying out plans to compete in the Men's Open at the 2024 EVLS Prague Pro. Considering he began his career in the Open and how dominant he was in classic physique, many bodybuilding veterans assumed he would pull off the win, including Milos Sarcev, who believed he had everything needed to secure a first-place finish. However, standing between Bumstead and the victory was Martin Fitzwater, who was fresh off a fourth-place finish at the 2024 Mr. Olympia. Ultimately, Fitzwater raised gold above his head at the Prague Pro, although some individuals thought the outcome was controversial, including King Kamali, who pointed out that many people had Bumstead in first place. Tarek El Guindy reflects on Prague Pro, thinks Chris Bumstead will exit retirement to win Open. Mr. Olympia in 1 to 2 years. Now, IFBB judge Tarek El Guindy is breaking down the action scene at the Prague Pro and sharing his thoughts on why Martin Fitzwater defeated Chris Bumstead. Density, guys, density. That is why Martin Fitzwater defeated Christopher Bumstead in Prague, density. Side chest, side triceps, back double bicep, back lat spread, most muscular. Chris Bumstead looked incredible, front double biceps and front lat spread. You could even give him those poses, but when it came to the side, Martin Fitzwater is an incredible bodybuilder. Tarek El Guindy highlights the assets that allowed Martin Fitzwater to come in first place against Bumstead. Fitzwater, got huge legs, he's got huge upper body, his chest is massive on the side. That's one of the poses that Chris Bumstead defeated every classic physique. All of a sudden he is posing next to a guy that has a density that he hasn't seen in his career. The back shots, the thickness of Martin Fitzwater's back shots, it's clear he's got thickness on the back double biceps and the back lat spread. The most muscular, the legs are big. We love Chris Bumstead because of his structure. He's just so beautiful to look at. He's got the large clavicle bones, the small waist. Despite Bumstead being unable to pull out the win at the Prague Pro, Tarek El Guindy doesn't believe this will be the last we see of Kbum on the competitive stage in the Men's Pi Open. I even think that now as an open bodybuilder, his legs got a little bit bigger, but if he wants to win the Mr. Olympia, which I think he will, watch out. I think Chris Bumstead is not retired, El Guindy shared. He envisions Bumstead winning the Open Mr. Olympia title in 1 or 2 years. I think Chris Bumstead is gonna come back home, take 1 or 2 years off, he's gonna then come back and go for the Open Mr. Olympia, and at that point, once he gets all the mass on his upper body, the thickness on his back double biceps and back lat spread, Chris Bumstead can win the Mr. Olympia Open. However, if Bumstead does make a return to the Open stage, he will have his work cut out for him when he has to stand against athletes such as Samson Dauda, Hadi Chupan, and Derek Lunsford. He devoted his career to the classic physique, he did a great job. But in the open bodybuilding, guys like Martin Fitzwater, Derek Lunsford, Hadi Chupan, and the Mr. Olympia Samson Dauda, they have more density, they have more thickness, and they are going to expose him in a lot of these poses. Tarek El Guindy isn't the only one sharing their thoughts about Chris Bumstead's performance in the Men's Open. Recently, Jay Cutler shared why Bumstead looked better than he ever has. Cutler pointed out the discrepancy in Bumstead's legs, which he thinks ultimately held him back from defeating Fitzwater. However, not everyone agreed with Jay Cutler's assessment of Bumstead, including bodybuilding veteran Lee Priest. Priest was less than impressed with the physique Chris Bumstead brought to the open stage and believed fans were still viewing him with classic eyes. Instead, Lee Priest advised Kbum to stay in his own lane. I've said it before, get rid of 212, get rid of classic, just have the open. The money from the classic and the 212 can go to the open. You have over $1 million prize money, and I'm sorry if you can't get on the open stage, then you're not fucking good enough. In the end, Chris Bumstead did an amazing job for the love of the sport, and fans were happy to see him compete for a final time. While Tarek El Guindy doesn't truly believe this.